Bruno and I have reached the critical point in our truth or lies adventure. Despite what our history books tell us, I want to see how our warriors lived compared to the Romans. Did the conquest and 400 years of occupation really transform us? Or was that just more of the same old hype?
What you need to understand is until the Romans came here, we were blissfully happy. And how do I know? Well, it's obvious. There was not one bad comment written in the complaints book. Come to think of it, there was nothing written at all, so they must have been happy. Remember, we had plenty of ale and cheese and onion. Salt and vinegar was yet to be invented. But you can't have everything, can you? Then along come your sophisticated Romans with their fancy wines. Certainly didn't make the average Brit's life any better, just made the hangovers worse.
Bruno and I are back at Butser Ancient Farm in Hampshire to find out from historian Claire Walton what the Romans gave us that we didn't already have. These houses are historically accurate, built using the same technology and techniques revealed during archaeological excavations. First off, a warrior's roundhouse.
Wow, interesting. Well, come on, no toilet.
Cannot believe that.
No toilet, no windows.
No windows, it's true, but there's a beautiful big door with lots of light flooding in, and no toilet. Well, I don't know about you, but I really don't want my toilet inside my house. It's much more hygienic to have it somewhere round the back of the building.
Yeah, because there's no flushing toilet.
No running water?
No
Well,
running
I'm going
water.
right now.
You might have to walk quite a long way to get your flushing water as well.
Is this like a typical Iron Age house then? Or is this a large one that someone rich would live, or is this like your average, 2 up, 2 down?
That's a really good question. It probably is quite representative on scale of what people would have been living in the Iron Age. Lots of the archaeology shows buildings about this size.
I think Roman daily life was a bit better.
Do you know what? It might look really simple and basic, and there are none of the things we recognise, like divisions between rooms, or all of the activities that might be carried out in one space, but actually this is a much nicer space to live in because it's adapted to the climate of Britain. So this space heats up really quickly. Doesn't look like the thermal properties are good, but actually thatch is great. So it's cool in the summer and it's warm in the winter. Whereas in your Roman villa, you might find that it's actually very cold all the time.
Right, well, because it's designed for...
It's designed for the Mediterranean.
Mediterranean summers.
They took the concept, the building design, they brought it here, they found it really difficult to adapt it wholesale to a different climate.
If you had to choose between a Roman villa or this des res, which would you rather live in?
Do you know what? It's probably going to surprise you because I am a classical archaeologist in my training, and so I obviously cannot get enough of the Romans. But if you asked me on a practical level where I wanted to live, I'd be in here. It's warmer, it's drier, it's really quick and easy to heat.
But they had heating. They invented underfloor heating.
Oh, the underfloor heating.
Yes, they did have underfloor heating, but as you will find in that villa, and it's kind of typical, it only heats up one tiny room.
But I reserve my final judgment as an emperor after I've seen my villa.
OK. Can we see the Roman villa, though?
Yeah.
Right, lead on.
Will you lead on? Because I think then we can make up our minds.
Come on, you like it.
More
you
clearly.
like it.
But I wouldn't live in it.
So, our warrior's humble abode rocks, basically. Let's see if Bruno's dwelling is all fur coat and no undercrackers.
Starting to feel much more comfortable.
It looks like a house. That's the
And
point
it
I'm
looks
making.
like a house. Oh, I feel at home already.
This is what they would have wanted you to see when you came in, was something really impressive, like this room and the mosaic floor.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's amazing. The detail. And this must be really expensive. And we're not standing on the real thing, are we? I hope not.
It's not the real thing, but it's an almost exact copy of the original.
The thing is about being in here is this is like a house.
It is
You can
a
see
house.
why people think the Romans are like really cool and clever, because it's like a house you would build now in lots of ways. But it's obviously really expensive. This is expensive compared to a mud hut, right?
Of course it is. You'd have to source materials, you'd have to bring in people to build it. You probably would have had to have far more in the way of materials, money, wealth.
Slaves.
To build it.
Slaves.
It would be slaves.
Slaves, basically.
Slaves,
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
you build your own mud hut, but if you want to build a thing like this...
Well, do you know what? People in the Iron Age had slaves too. We know they did, so...
Within Britain, tribes used to enslave
Each other.
members of opposite tribes.
Right, OK.
So
Okay. Well, nobody's perfect, but so this is the hall where we come in and we swoon and we meet the lord of the manor or whatever he'd be called, the dominus,
Yes.
whatever.
So only special people would be allowed in.
What? Are you saying we can't? Are we not special?
Well, I don't know. There is a dining room in the villa, and that is the one room that's heated with that underfloor heating system. And that dining room would have been only, the exclusive preserve.
Oh, we're very
of
exclusive.
Of his
We're very
closest
exclusive.
Confidants and wealthy.
Yeah.
clients.
Underfloor heating.
Oh yeah,
Can we
well,
see the underfloor heating?
Let's go.
I just want to see the underfloor heating.
We are
like-
so into the underfloor heating.
Oh.
Do you want to see the room that we're going to heat first?
Yes.
Let's go this way.
Lead on.
Well, I think I have to be honest. I mean, you could actually live in this house now. With very, maybe a few adjustments, but it really is a recognizable, proper, beautiful house.
The Romans probably never would have let the fire go out. It would have burned almost continuously.
Right.
So what we want is the smoke to be drawn into that passageway, and it'll start to heat up the passageway underneath that room, and it'll also go up through some tubes in the wall, and you should see the smoke quite quickly coming out the exit holes.
This is journey back in time, and not just to the time of the Romans, but to when I was a little kid reading about the Romans, and it was the underfloor heating that stuck with me more than anything else.
Well, these are the things that the Romans are well known for. It's the sort of technologies that we associate with the Romans, and that, in 43 AD when they arrived in Britain, that's when civilization began.
Yeah.
And obviously, as we've seen, we've visited an Iron Age house, we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Their houses look different, but they were equally sophisticated in other ways.
Claire's arguments about the villa compared to the, I'm going to call it a mud hut, were really, really compelling because the villa's expensive, it's a lot of work, and it doesn't really suit. They're building it because they're stuck on building it, whereas the huts, people still live in houses like that all over the world right now. I'm not saying I'd choose to live in one, but let's say it was 2,000 years ago and I had the choice, I might go for the mud hut.
But I know what Bruno would go for, which brings us to our final conclusion. And where better to round off than a Roman communal toilet?
Nothing I like more than, curling one out in conversation.
Yes, Al, you'll really take me to the best places.
Well, that's it, Bruno.
Well, Al, thank you very much. It has been a wonderful, wonderful adventure.
Oh, I've had a fantastic time.
But I will stick to my long-held opinion that the Romans really were brilliant. We're talking about building roads, aqueducts, beautiful housing, toilets, culture, literature.
You know what?
And they have even the monetary system was incredible.
It's hard to disagree. It is amazing, and we've got to concede on this programme that this isn't one that the British can claim to have won. I think its greatest achievement, the Roman Empire, was to inspire the British Empire.
Of course.
Of course. So that counts as a win.
The Romans. They came, they saw, they conquered. But I think it's clear we were never a walkover. And by the early 5th century, the empire could no longer defend itself. They had had all these internal rebellions going on and loads of other battles elsewhere. So surely they lost in the end.
The Roman really didn't lose. What happened is they had to withdraw because they couldn't afford it anymore. They were not defeated by the Britons in battle.
I think it's very hard to say that the British won fighting the Romans, but I think we got the better part of the deal. I think the really interesting thing about the Roman conquest of Britain is who does better out of it, the Britons or the Romans, and it's the Britons. When Bruno says they bring civilization here, yeah, they do, and we do really well out of it, right? So rather than this being some glorious victory for the Romans, Britain wins yet again by losing.